All right. This is the Housing Insecurity Survey, Stand-Up 3 by Damani, Maita, and me, Leslie. In this survey, our survey aims to learn about the students here on Southeastern's campus. Our group wants to observe the overall satisfaction and experiences that the Southeastern students have with their current housing situations. We also want to learn about students' demographics, things like race, geographic location, and financial dependency, as well as how these have affected their experiences and satisfaction. The study importance is that the study is important because we are examining the relationship between housing quality and housing cost among college students in order to address the needs of the Southeastern students. Our variables. For the purpose of our hypothesis test, we use monthly housing costs without utilities for students at Southeastern. Our ratio level variable, we know it is ratio level because we are able to identify separate groups, the difference between groups and meaningful zeros. In our latest research, we also use the expected monthly cost of housing as another ratio level variable. We then used racial identity among survey respondents at Southeastern as our nominal level variable. We know this is nominal level because there is no ranking order. We know that there are separate groups, but not how different they are, and it has no true zero.
All right. With the results of the survey, we wanted to conduct a test of means with our results. For this test, we wanted to find whether or not non-white respondents paid more for monthly housing, and this is what we found. So we set up our test of hypotheses, our null being that there is no difference in housing costs between non-white and white respondents, our alt being that respondents not identifying as white pay more for housing than white respondents. For this, we set a significance level at an alpha level of 0.05, and we used this statistical method, difference between two population means method, which assumes independent samples and unequal population standard deviations. This method assumes the difference between two population means because comparing two possibly different population means, independent samples because the responses of the analytical units do not influence each other, and unequal population standard deviations based on the understanding of variation in the two populations. For the p-value, we calculated the p-value to be 0.1355 or 0.136. This led us to reject the null because the p-value is greater than the significance level. In other words, what we observed is not a rare event under the null hypothesis. And that means the hypothesis is possibly correct. At the alpha 0.05 level, we have insufficient evidence to conclude that the mean housing cost for non-white respondents is statistically significantly greater than the mean housing cost for white respondents, meaning it's possible that the housing costs are the same for all races among Southeastern students. We then went a step further, and we wanted to use racial identity and monthly housing costs again, this time to test an extension of our hypotheses. These were our findings. We set the null as there being no difference between the mean of students' current monthly housing and what they expect to pay for monthly housing every month. The alt was changed to be Southeastern students currently pay less for monthly housing than they expect to pay, and we set the significance level at alpha 0.05. For this, we used the conducting a matched paired method assuming dependent samples method. This assumes the difference between two population means and the dependent samples because responses from first population influence responses in second population. Our P-value, we used a lower tail test where the t was negative and the sig two-tailed is 0.000, meaning the p-value was 0.000. The p-value is less than the significance level. In other words, what we observed is a rare event under the null hypothesis. Because the p-value is less than the significance level, we reject the null and accept the alt. At the alpha 0.05 level, we have sufficient evidence to conclude that students at Southeastern expect to pay more for monthly housing than they actually pay. I hope this was insightful. Thank you. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you haven't seen it already, I'll leave a link to Standup 2, and I will also leave a link to a very good 60-minute video helping to put into perspective more aspects of actual housing insecurity. Thank you.